Hey YouTube, Asian Talks here, and in this episode we're talking about the tween audience. This is something that has always been on my mind ever since I found out what regular show was, and Adventure Time. Stuff that Cartoon Network has started to put out since 2009, 10, and so forth. I have no problem with it, honestly, because I don't care. I don't really watch anything Cartoon Network, really. I just know that fandoms really destroy everything in 4chan and whatnot. But overall, I think it's absolutely fine. I mean, it's great that Cartoon Network is now pointing out to a more mature audience, I guess you could say, because judging from the stuff that they post and whatnot, not everything's going to be mature, and something just might be downright wrong and taboo. Well, in this episode, we're here to talk about the Powerpuff Girls. Now, we're not talking about the old Cartoon Network Powerpuff Girls. We're talking about the 2016 version of Powerpuff Girls. And apparently it's gone so bad that I could not escape it, and I had to talk about it. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, the first question is, Brandon, what do you think of the 2016 Powerpuff Girls? I've seen one episode, and I think it's absolute trash. I really do think that we as a society, no, we as a species destroyed something that someone of our own species made so perfect. Now, of course, there are other adaptations, like a 2005 or 6 version. It was an anime version, I believe, and it was alright. It had its own unique look. Then there was a CGI version of the Powerpuff Girls, and that was new, but it wasn't really something that stuck to the Powerpuff Girls. So, of course, they had to do something new. And fans were like, just give us the old classic. Maybe remake it, make it look a little bit better. Just give us that. But nope, they had to give us something new and point it out to the tween audience. And maybe not the tween audience, maybe just idiots out there. And you all know this if you guys know about my twerking video, which came out just before this one. I recommend you go check that out if you want to know my opinions on the twerk and whip nay nay. It's also in the same video. It's just dumb dances. But I think it's stupid and atrocious, rather. I feel like a part of my childhood has been crushed by these people. So I have a list in front of me here, and I'm going to read off these things that I believe are just making the show, or these beloved characters that we grew up with, just utter trash. First, well, already one, it was the tween audience crap. 2, lazy animations. Now, if you remember in the Cartoon Network version, these girls would fly around, there's pow effects and explosions and all that stuff, and that looks amazing. In this one, let's see, like 11 years I think have passed, and nothing new has come up. It's all garbage, and it's all extremely slow. They move slow, well, not only slow, but some animations are just downright wrong and lazy. Like their eyes could be a little distorted or near the mouth. And when they fly or whatever, it looks like they skipped a couple of frames. It's just bad. 3, overused effects. If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, it's stuff like putting things that are in real life and cropping it into the show. Or having someone who needs to walk, or, something like that. They just teleport or skip or whatever. Stretching effects. That's definitely another thing. And warping. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's overused a lot, and it just doesn't really improve the show at all. Another one are the character designs, and not just the character designs of the Powerpuff Girls, but also those of the side or background characters. If you take a look at them, and honestly, they just look like they're characters from another show. They look nothing like they belong in the Powerpuff Girls universe. They look like they come from Steven's universe, and that show with that one kid who's a fat ass and shows a big belly, a typical American show on Cartoon Network. Alright, another thing is that the voice actors, they actually removed the original voice actors and they got totally new ones. They don't sound bad, but it kind of takes away the old nostalgia feel when you know that you cannot recognize these new voices. Alright, another one are the new villains. Now this one I did not really catch on to until I was told about it. Like, hey, did you know that all the old villains are there, but they all play these kind of characters are coming up a lot these days, and it's the characters that basically make it's the people that make the original old badass villains into like neighborhood characters, or like the boss of your job. And it's just, I think that's just dumb. And when they bring up new characters, it just seems like a really bad ripoff of the older ones, who were already good anyway, so what the hell. The other one, this is a big one, twerking. If you guys are unaware of the infamous panda party in the clouds scene, panda with lit up eyes that go like all colors of the rainbow starts twerking, and so do the Powerpuff Girls. This angered me a lot. and I wanted to punch my phone screen. In fact, I did punch my phone screen, and it's cracked. But not because of the twerking, no, not because of the Powerpuff Girls twerking, that's because of another thing. But it's just as ridiculous. I mean, I was kind of fine with everything, because I understand how stupid shows are coming up now these days on Cartoon Network, but this was just a whole new download. I could not believe it. They had to involve twerking. A lot of today's really bad humor that now kids are getting into, and I guess that's the reason why since 2009, 10, all the way up to 2015 to 16, new generations of teenagers and young teens and 20-year-olds up, they're just immature idiots, like whipping and nay-naying. Now, I'm not saying that you're an idiot if you do it and you made it up. I mean, shout-outs to whoever made up that song or whatever. I don't care who you are, but you did something and now you're popular. But I'm just saying, man, that was just not necessary. That's pretty much it. I mean, those are all the things that I think are just downright wrong with the show, and that's the reason why I did not enjoy it and why many other people did not enjoy it after doing some research. But, I mean, honestly, I just think it's not going very well, especially for Cartoon Network, who are getting a little bit of a shout from their audience, you know, because like, oh, we waited so long for this, and you guys already did a couple of remakes back in the day. But I mean, this is the one. Like, once I saw the cover and just saw some of the characters and screenshots and images on Google, I was like, this looks pretty decent. I mean, it doesn't have its own unique art style as like the 2005 one. It's not animated like CGI. So I was like, okay, it's actually a cartoon. Let's look at it. And it just falls into the category of like Adventure Time, regular show, maybe Steven Universe. I don't know. It's just today's shows in Cartoon Network, they might as well be an Adult Swim. That's what I'm trying to say. And I dropped something here. Let's see. Oh, this script. Oh, wait. I did a hashtag thing for this. Unless you guys are not aware, in this new Powerpuff Girls, if you could call it that, the girls are not heroes. The power in the name can be taken away with just, like, pretty puff girls. They're puffy for sure, but I mean, you can just call them pretty or cute, whatever. But they're no longer heroes, if you guys do not know. I mean, sure, they have the powers, but that doesn't really make them anything special like they were in the original show. In this show, it's more slice of life, and it's like they get involved with schoolwork and bullying and work and all sorts of other stuff that you do in everyday life, just like regular show. Not really Adventure Time. You guys pretty much like Pickle and Peanut, another terrible thing that I'll totally get into another episode if I can. But it's just, what is up with Cartoon Network these days and their shows? But that's for a whole other video. But this one in particular, I mean, I expected this to be the remake that I was hoping for. You know, because I'm not trying to say that as a guy, I love little girl shows, but I mean, it was on Cartoon Network. Come on, that pointed out to so many audiences. Kind of like how Toonami Jetstream back in the day did anime. And everyone's like, well, that's not for little kids, but little kids can actually love anime, and I loved anime. That's where I got my love for Naruto, Inuyasha, and all sorts of stuff. So the target audience is basically everybody for both. But when it comes on the Cartoon Network, they're drastically changing it. Not only is it now for more adults now, especially with stuff as deep as Steven's Universe, which is amazing and probably won't need a video because it's just so good. I can't really see that many flaws. But, I mean, something like the Powerpuff Girls, come on, you can't screw around. And then little kids these days are now catching on to all that stuff, and then they're just becoming dumb and really immature because the content is not just, it just isn't very healthy for a young child's mind these days. Now, I'm not trying to say anything back in the day was totally good, but it definitely had more violence back in the day, but at least it was justified with whatever it was doing, and it had a good resolution. It always had a good resolution. There's always a meaning behind everything, and at least it was fast-paced, and it kept you excited throughout the entire episode, and you thought, okay, wow, that was really nice. That was really nice. But now these days, it's just like first world problems, teen emotions, stuff that has to do with animals, and animals, it's fine, but it's just stuff that you already see in everyday life, and now they just have to put it in your favorite cartoon shows, new cartoon shows, and not all of them are just good anymore. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you guys think this new Powerpuff Girls is a good thing, or is it just utter trash? Because it just isn't what I expected it to be, what many people expected it to be, and unfortunately, it just got the low end of the stick. So let me know what you guys know. Do not forget to leave a like. I cannot speak today because I was so upset when I saw this episode. And do subscribe because it always helps. All right, this is the Asian done talking.